Now, my name is Mono Balagogo, and tonight we've got quite the show for you. We're going to be discussing on national security, focusing on the FCT, and also talk about some other security challenges in the country. Well, let's give you a rundown of some of our talking points. First, we'll look at the rise of kidnappings in the FCT. We'll look at Wike's response to the insecurity situation in the FCT and also tackling kidnapping and banditry. Then, our second conversation tonight will focus on mega party formation. There's been the conversation around getting a strong opposition to the Progressive Congress Party, and of course, our guest in the studios is in good position, to talk to us on that. We'll also look at the state of the polity, and of course, continue the conversation. Is Nigeria truly sliding into a one-party system? And of course, the Atiku Obi Kwankwaso mega party, how feasible is it? Well, joining us tonight, of course, in the studio with me is Honorable Usman Okai Austin, who is a political activist, a politician, and of course, he's right with us in the studio. Good day, Honorable, and thanks for being with us on the program.
Thank you for having me.
The pleasure is mine. Okay, let's take a quick breather. When I come back, I'll bring you up to speed regarding some of the security challenges in the country, and then we'll begin the conversation. Don't go anywhere, get your family and friends together, and let's have some good talk. Have you back from that short break. Let's look at what's happening in the FCT. There's been a lot of conversations, but people are acting surprised as if the kidnappings in the FCT and in some other states in the country is just happening. Well, it has not been happening. It just so happens that what we've seen that has blown on social media regarding kidnappers, demanding ransoms, and families and relatives of people are calling people to be of help, and some people have described it as an embarrassment. But if you've not been following all that's happening, let me bring you up to speed. Of course, the focus on national security since the attacks in Plateau State that saw the murdering of many persons has been awakened yet again by a series of kidnappings in the FCT. And recall on January 5th, gunmen abducted 6 young girls in Wari Area Council of the Federal Capital Territory in Abuja, a situation that has generated public outcry. And last Sunday, the abductors killed Nabiba, one of the 6 sisters, purportedly as a warning to the family for failing to pay the ransom of 60 million naira. And on Tuesday, bomb explosion was reported in Oyo State. Just to get the fact out, it's not a bomb explosion, but mines, around the Bodija area in Ibadan. And reports revealed it was caused by mines, like I just pointed out, used for illegal mining. And the government has reported 2 persons dead, 77 persons injured, homes and vehicles destroyed. Now, let's take a look at some of the reactions. You have the Amnesty International, who in a statement on Monday described the abductions as an epidemic that has become part of our daily life, urging President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to take all lawful measures to end the cycle of violence and fears. And then you have the former vice president too, who has weighed in on this situation, saying that when the government fails to fulfill its constitutional obligations of protecting the lives and property of citizens, it is an invitation to kidnappers and other criminal elements to have a free reign visiting houses and hotels in around the capital city, kidnapping citizens without resistance. And of course, the senator representing the FCT has also deplored the worsening situation of insecurity in the Abuja, the nation's capital, and the rate and ease with which criminals abduct and kill innocent citizens. But of course, the Federal Capital Territory Minister Nzenwo Nyesom Wike on Tuesday summoned an emergency security meeting in the wake of the increasing wave of kidnapping by bandits in Wari Area Council and some other parts of the territory. And this is what he had to say.
All of us are aware of the security situation in the Federal Capital Territory, particularly Buhari and some other areas that we have witnessed security challenges. Yes, I'm aware that sometimes too the press overblow what is happening. But all of us are concerned as the Federal Capital Authority that houses virtually every Nigerian. We owe a duty to make sure that this place is safe. It's just for you to know that we are not sleeping. Security agencies are also not sleeping. We provide every support that they require in order to allay the fears of the citizens or residents. And this time around, we will not be happy where area council chairmen will abdicate their responsibility and travel out. We have gotten reports that council chairmen travel anytime, and then if anything happens, of course, they will not call anybody's name. They will call the FCT minister.
All right, now, of course, still giving you updates on what has been happening. Well, President Bola Tinubu condemned the recent spate of the kidnappings and bandit attacks, describing the development as disturbing, ungodly, and sinister, and said while security agencies are acting with dispatch to immediately address the current challenge, all required resources and policies and plans will be rolled out soon for the massive education of the Nigerian youths. And the president said that education is the antidote to troubles agitating the nation, adding that there is no weapon against poverty that is as potent as learning. And of course, the IGP of police, Egbetokun, has ordered the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Department of Operations, to personally coordinate the upscaled security strategies and in place to decimate kidnappers and other criminally minded individuals in the FCT and immediately restore normalcy. Well, that's the update. But let's begin the conversation. Honorable Austin, thanks once again for being with us. Now, what's your reaction to the comments from the stakeholders? We've heard from the service chiefs, we've heard from the president, we've heard from Wike, who is the FCT minister, we've heard from the FCT. And it's all, going back to the same, we're taking measures, we're having meetings, and all of that. But security situation is worsening, most especially in the FCT. As someone who resides in the FCT, how do you react to all of these developments?
Well, I personally don't want to discuss much of this because the insecurity in FCT is not about this kidnapping. But we are all crying because at least it should be impossible for this to happen in FCT. We are talking of a town that is housing the president and commander-in-chief. We are talking of a town that the director general of DSS is residing in. We are talking of a town that the chief of army staff, the chief of defense, the chief of naval staff, the inspector general of police, all whatever NIA, DIA, they are all in Abuja. And today is rated as one of the most unsafe cities. What else are we supposed to discuss? And when people, international community, the Amnesty International, they raise observation, we try to politicize everything. Someone will tell you we are trying to. This is not about campaign. This is not about APC. This is not about PDP. This is not about Labour Party. It is about leadership incompetency to address the basic necessity of a citizen. What do I mean? Your number one constitutional right is right to life. And provision of security, protection of life and property should be number one guidance of a government. And when the government fails this, what else? FCT is not safe. This is where we have a USA ambassador. This is where we have a British ambassador. This is where we have a Canada ambassador. And we are going around begging international community to come and invest. There is no any under bridges in Abuja here that the robberies are not operating. No, you go to Zone 4. That's opposite Central Mosque. To drive around that from 8 o'clock is risky. If you are not even at the speed, they will make an attempt to even open your door. We are not safe. Area 1 under bridge, Nyanyao, everywhere, down to Kubwa, every other the bridges across FCT. I'm talking of Abuja Municipal Area Council. What of one chance? So we shouldn't narrow down insecurity in FCT to a kidnapping something. We have accepted that the government has admitted the fact that the kidnappers or the banditry are more sophisticated or more powerful than our securities. Well, what else do government do for us? You cannot guarantee job. You cannot guarantee education. You cannot guarantee the citizens 24 hours or even reasonable electricity. Majorities of people provide water for themselves. And security, you cannot guarantee. Where is the government now? And you look at the reaction, except the FCT, the senator representing FCT. You know, those reactions are so weak. The president says he's going to address with massive education. I don't understand how that will address the issue here. Massive education? That reaction is weak. Though he had the meeting with the service chiefs. What else? What else? Usual, annual ritual.
Now, you talk about the service chiefs who always say that they are under-equipped. But when you look at the 2024 budget, I mean, security is basically the number one high-ranking amount that has been budgeted, you know, in terms of budget and what they're going to do in the country. But when you hear, you know, some of these lapses in securities, and we hear the same rhetoric of having, you know, the working on needs, the giving orders, you know, to assuage the situation. What do you think is really
there's no amount of money you pump into security that will address this system.
And
political will. These terrorists operate at locals. And to some point, I agree with Mike to some extent yesterday when he lappooned on the council chairman that they are not available. But himself is always not available. I'm sure they are emulating from him. He spends his weekend in Port Harcourt, where he likes more of his political structure in Port Harcourt than safety of properties and life of the citizens of FCT.
But you know,
okay, now, until we have an effective local government system, I wonder why the media and other people do not look into it.
When you talk about effective local government system, we have states who do local government caretaker. Does that work?
Do they represent people? The caretaker system is like SA to the governor,
which is more of a political.
They are just there because of the joint allocation account. Majorities of them sign, collect money, and return it back to the governor. The councillor representing a ward knows who is who in his or her ward. He has his people. The councillor works with the community leader. The councillor works with the gagos and the madaki. And the traditional rulers, the gagos, the madakis, the community leader work with the traditional ruler. The councillor knows the arrival of a bad people within their economy, within their community, within a second. And they communicate this thing to the traditional ruler. They communicate this thing to the local government chairman, who will inform the governor. But do we have any effective local government? Are they even paid? The councillors, the governor decide what comes to their pocket because they were not elected. So many of them were not elected. The chairman, they were not elected. Even those that were elected, you can see a state where PDP is winning, 21 local government chairman, PDP will win. A state where APC is winning, 21 local government chairman, APC will win. So the local government is bastardized. And until we effect this correction, so that everybody can monitor their own locality. That is why you see every of the forest, all the forests across, is being dominated by bandits, kidnappers, and they are well secure because but who is concerned? In the northeast, the community pay royalties to the bandit. The line, before you go to the farm, you must have permission from. That is how bad it is. And we are all pretending. And the evil we have been defending is now about to consume the nation. Abuja is no longer safe. How can we, what do you say? What does that mean?
Now, when you look at some of the press statements that was given, I think that was last year towards the ending, where you have the U.S. embassy, warn their citizens not to come to Nigeria. And one of the places they said that you cannot come to is the Federal Capital Territory.
Yes.
And then you have the presidency, of course, who were trying to no, they're blowing things out of proportion. Even yesterday, the FCT minister talked about the media blowing it beyond proportion. What do you say?
Is he aware? He's not here. His mind is not here, FCT minister. He's 100% in his place. He only took this position for political reasons. Wike, is Wike telling me that since this thing is happening in Buhari, if this is when he was a governor, has he not paid visit to Buhari? He's just summoned a meeting yesterday after everybody is crying, after some people were even calling on him to quit. And that's why he called on the meeting. Where is the political willingness? We have a satellite communication. What are we doing about it? And another point is synergy among our security. What is the relationship between police and the army? What is the relationship between police and the civil defense? What is the relationship between our armed forces and the DSS? Who is in charge of gathering information, process it, and giving it to the appropriate authority or appropriate agency to act? Is there synergies among our information in information gathering? Is there synergies among our security organization? So this thing, and how are they there? Who is the DG of this and this? Who is the chief of army staff? Who is the chief of defense? Is he the most qualified? In an environment where people are not even getting their promotion, would you think they'll give in their best? So our attitude towards our servicemen is another hindrance to what is happening. And that's why you see there are double agents among so many of them. You plan to do this, before you know, the evil people are aware of it. Is it God that is telling them? Are they saying it through Ifa? No. They have been able to infiltrate and compromise. You can't take it away, but there should be a minimum limitation. But as we are having now, we are at this. There's a big problem. Forget any press statement. The governments seem to be confused. And because they are everywhere. We are losing control of the north. This thing started from the northeast, now northwest, now north central. The only place that is even a bit safe in this country that is south and southwest. The southeast is not safe.
And would you say that's due to the Amotekun and local
That
force?
is it. They have a functioning local system.
So why can't
Where there's a
have
synergy between the government and the traditional
why
man.
is it difficult for it to be established?
That is it. That is the problem. And that's why I told you, the Western regions, prehistory, has always have a unique way of operating. And until we learn to copy this, the local vigilante, theirs is Amoteku, and they relate with the governors. You can see each of the governors of the Southwest give Amoteku needed attention. They are well funded. They have the cars. Can you say that of vigilante? And what is their recruitment? Amoteku people are recruited by the community leaders who forwarded their name to the government. And these are willing village warriors. What do we saw vigilante in Kogi? What do we saw vigilante in Nasarawa? Some of them are party members. Either you are working for the government, you must be loyal to the party, or not. Not people that are willing to do these jobs. And those that are willing to do, are they well mobilized? So that is the problem. We must spend much on our intelligent gathering. No nation is safe when you don't have information of how the evil men operate.
Now, talking about the intelligence gathering, as you just mentioned, is it that it is available, but they just decide not to use it? Because when you look at the series of attacks, you look at Plateau, and you see how they raided one village, where they succeeded there, went to another village. You see the time lag in terms of information. Even what just happened in Ibadan, talking about the mines that are exploded, regarding illegal mining, where was the lag of information that, okay, some people were hiding mines that were being used for illegal mining? So you see the lack of intelligence. And we have people, who are respected generals and service chiefs, who have people. We also saw the error bomb explosion that also happened recently, still boiling down to intelligence. What it's beyond the willpower. Do you think willpower is just enough, or there are some people who are, speculating that there could be a play with political stakeholders regarding the lingering insecurity in our nation?
It's a business. Some people are making money from it. You can't take it away. Either the bad people are the one making money, or some people in government. But someone, somewhere, is doing business with insecurity. Insecurity across the world is business. You can't take that away. Some people need this thing to last, for them to make more money. Some people need this thing to continue. And even I heard somebody say, since kidnapping is becoming a lucrative business, why can't all of them go into it? It is so bad to that extent. So when you talk of information gathering, who do you give information for? Somebody must have seen the activities of an illegal miner. The first person you're supposed to report to is police. And then what if the police go back there? Some of the time it's becoming risky for you to even give out to volunteer information. Because the information you confidently give out to a security agent, the man you reveal the secret to security agent, you may even come after you next tomorrow. So that is the problem. And all these things has to do with our attitude towards our servicemen, the security agent. How respected, how do we treat our security officer? What is the service? Where is the policeman? How much, what is his reward? What is their salary? Do they have a barrack? How morally empowered are they? Can this man voluntarily take risk his life for his country? What happened to his family? So that is the situation. Corruption leads us to where we are. And that is why anybody is willing to sell any information, either to bandits, to Boko Harams, to kidnappers, or whatever. And you can't separate this kidnapping of a thing from bandit. And you talk about the issue of illegal mining. Yes, the current minister of Solar Mineral, Alake, is so serious about it. And most of these illegal miners get their certificate fake. They get the concepts. I can tell you authoritatively, it's like traditional fraud. So many of them from my place, their signature will be forged by these miners. And you are aware of that. That until we legalize this illegality, there will be a problem. So if these activities is well known by the government, there are most of these explosive. You can't keep it nearby where people sleep. You can see so many were killed. Properties, even Shibola family is involved from what I read this morning. So until we are able to do the right thing and change our attitude towards our nation, and by our leaders, we can do that through our leadership or leaders living an exemplary life. If Governor Wike is up and doing in FCT, the way he's crying in Port Harcourt, if he's crying about FCT security, this thing will be there.
But when you
the local government council chairman that is blaming today will adjust. But the man is much more interested in Port Harcourt than here.
Which has been, some of the outcry, and even to President Bola Tinubu's choices in terms of picking those in his cabinet. Now, the question is, are we ready to continue to go like this? Do you think that the president, just like the example he made with Betta Edu, and, had her suspended, do you think it's time for the president to begin to take some really decisive actions so that they don't tarnish, the work that he's trying to do?
The worst that can happen to him is to lose the security of FCT. The whole world will know. The whole world will hear. And the whole world will be scared of us. And it will be a bad example that the city, just as I said earlier at my introduction, that is housing the chief, all the service chiefs, including the president, the retired, the senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Speaker of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, they are all here. Yet the town is not safe. And if FCT is not safe, what can you say of your own village? So it summarizes the image of a nation before the international community. And we must be sincere to ourselves. We are in a big mess. Now, to fly from here to Lagos, you will not have no less than 100,000 or to 150,000 above just to land. To return back, you are talking of almost 300,000. Go to and fro. Who can afford that just for one trip? And you travel on the road, the chances of you being kidnapped is 80%. So many. This one is happening. We are only hearing this thing because it's Abuja. Otukpo and Makurdi, over 58 passengers. Otukpo and Enugu were taken away to the forest. It's happening every day. All the federal highways, except some part of the southwest, all the federal high roads or the federal highways are not safe for citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to travel. And you don't have money because of economic hardship to fly. You can't embark on any emergency mission except you have tried to face, in fact, kind of a suicide mission to travel on the road right away. It's not about politics. It's about reality. And we all must wake up to this. Who are those people that are careless activities? They are part and parcel of us. They are part of us. They are citizens. They are Nigerians. And if the government can tell you, look at it now, if you say something about the government, the DSS will track you immediately. Yahoo boys, anywhere they are hiding, EFCC will track them immediately. Why can't we use this technology to track these kidnappers?
Now, it just brings to mind the issue of ransom. I mean, you have a family who is struggling and you expect them to raise 60 million. I think what brought this conversation, to the forefront was having when you have social media influencers begin to call for people to donate money to an account to rescue somebody.
Yes.
What does that say about the
Not
state
just
of
a social
security?
media. The former immediate minister, Patani,
Yeah.
who introduced NIM, is also asking people to help him with 50 million, which I know is making mockery of us. The Minister of Communication, we know much of him. But forget about Patani. Listen to what he is saying. There are some people that even pay ransom before they can get dead body of their relative from the hands of kidnappers.
And you have
it's happening. So what is the essence of NIM? They communicate with us on phone.
They can be
That
tracked.
means intelligent community are aware where this person is communicating from. Because if they want to arrest you because you are criticizing government, they know where to track you. If they want to arrest you because you abuse one of the top government officials, they know where to arrest you. Now, if the victims and the kidnappers are being left to their own fate, before government will even make an attempt to rescue the victim. But now there's nothing of such. They condemn it, they issue statement, and it will happen tomorrow. And it's game as usual. We must be sincere. Is there hope for this country? And if we must end this, then the government must lead by example. If government want to end this, they have a way of ending it.
So what do you think should be the path of the government? Because when you look at the president, the best he can do is probably to have conversations with his service chiefs. But other than that, what else can he do? We've seen a lot of trips outside the country. At this point in time where we have the security, getting worse, do you think it's high time to suspend all international trips for maybe like a month or two and just,
what will they do? The president we can't stop a president from engaging international community because Nigeria is part and parcel of the international community. You can't run a nation isolatorily. Even Putin, he has his own place. He goes to China, North Korea, and some other Iran. These are his own people. So as I'm talking to you, the local system must be made to function. Money budgeting for security should be released to them. Not that the money meant for a policeman standing on the road will be diverted by one divisional police officer or a commissioner of police. When they are demoralized, they can't give in their best. And that's why you see them saluting. Even criminals can be on the road. A police officer will salute you. He was not interested in what you are doing. He's interested in what he can get from you. it has gotten to that extent. And that's why you see in FCT, a taxi driver, how do they call them? One chance can park in any junction. One chance can drive to any garage and carry people from there and do whatever they want, and nobody arrests anybody. And most of the people they say they arrest, you cannot see them parade them, hardly. So that is the situation of the country. Everybody for his own. And this is where we are is as a result of corruption, endemic corruption in the system. How the day before yesterday, a serviceman, a soldier, committed suicide in Lagos, Ogun State, because of what? One problem or the other. The lady that was complaining of sexual abuse and sexual harassment in military was arrested yesterday, flew down here. Who will follow her up for her to be released? Only God knows. And those who speak out will face persecution. And those who refuse to speak out, one of your relatives or your brothers or somewhere else will end up in the hands of kidnappers. A time will come that Nigeria will resist the system that is no longer working. And I can tell you authoritatively that whoever said that the President Bola Tinubu alone have a solution to Nigeria problem, that person is not be fair. And that is why I said the local system, Nigeria must revert back to three tiers of government, where we have a local government system that will be made to be effective. The governor which will appeal to the governor, that they can't do it alone.
But there have been much appeals for the governors. They are the ones that seem to be blocking.
It's because of lack of political will. If the president like President Tinubu called them to order, they will listen. So many of them, they fear him. I don't see the way they are praising him after their Supreme Court, even the Labour Party.
But the question is, does President Tinubu have the will to make that move?
Depends on the information at his disposal. The president is surrounded with so many brick walls. And those that manage him, his managers, decide what he listens to. And if they know you can tell the president the truth, they may not have access to him. That is the reality. That is the reality. So the issue of the president suspending his international engagement, no. But what we are saying is that there's nobody that you can't put in your own house in order. You can't put the outsider house in order. So the first thing, before talk of calling on investors to come, appealing on international community to assist, we should be able to put our house in order by put an end to this massive corruption in the name of insecurity. Yesterday, a court in one state in the US ruled that over 9 point something should return back to Nigeria. The money that was taken to US during the time of Sambo Dasuki, that they want to buy some military hardware. So this is what we are talking. That means somebody somewhere is making money. Every government comes and go, we are into buying ammunition, helicopter. President Buhari bought so many from where are those things? Are they in use? The kidnappers are keeping their victims in the forest. And we can't fly over it for any surveillance. They are making use of the phone. The means is not working. Or perhaps they use their victim's phone to call their relative. But what happened to the tracking devices of our security? Those who do the tracking. The same methodology, the science they are using to track their opponent. They use to track the opposition. They used to track the critics and arrest. They can use these things to protect the citizens. They can use we've never even heard them arrest any kidnappers anymore.
All right, we have been talking with Honorable Usman Okai, and of course, we'll be getting more of the conversation. But we need to go on a short break. We'll be right back. Please do stay with us. Thank you. Now, and of course we have been looking at national security, but it's time for us to get into politics. And of course our guest with us, Honorable Usman Okai, is a proud member of the People's Democratic Party, and we want to delve into the conversation of mega party formation. This is something that has been pushed, by your party in person of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, and we're talking about the state of the polity in terms of politics. We've seen some of your members, kind of, I'm looking for the word to use now. Is it prostitute themselves to the All Progressive Congress? You have the likes of David Boala and some other persons in your party. Now, let's talk about your party. Before we get into the matter of party formation, do you think that it is time for the People's Democratic Party to rebrand itself? Would you say that the PDP has lost its touch when we talk about politics?
No, I don't think so. The problem is not the party.
Are you sure it's not the party?
Not at all. The problem is leadership. You've changed name today. Who are still going to champion it? Who are going to be the managers of the party? So, I read the statement of Atiku, Obi, and Kwakwaso. But before this pronouncement, is the structure of the party aware? I am pro mega political party. But are the PDP governors in tandem with what Atiku is proposing?
That is the problem.
Has he hold meeting with
then that
them?
means something is wrong.
You don't-
If the
that-
governors are not in line,
No,
in sync
I
with
am
you.
not trying. I've not concluded on that.
Okay.
I ask a question. Has he done his background work? Because I'm aware there is no such meeting. What of the NWC of the party? Are they on the same position with what Atiku is proposing? I'm aware since Damagu has been there as acting chairman, there has not been neck meeting.
And why has there not been
Now,
meeting?
that is problem within the party. That is not part of this discussion.
Okay.
Now, Kwakwaso, and in fact, I think he was even suspended last time by some faction of NNPP. In about last 3 weeks, Lamida Papa factions of Labour Party. So now, is it the characters, the leaders, Atiku, Obi, Kwakwaso, personality that are forming the mega party, or they are going along with existing party that each and every one of them contested in the last presidential election? These are some questions that need to be answered. But whoever tell you that to defeat Tinubu 2027 is possible. But whoever tell you that to be an Atiku and Kwakwaso will contest parallelly against Tinubu and defeat him, it may be impossible. So coalescing the opposition under one umbrella in the name of mega party is a welcome development. It will advance our democracy, it will promote good governance, and there will be sound opposition.
But the
When you are talking of
the Labour Party put out a statement yesterday saying that they are not buying merger, but are looking towards alliance.
yeah, and that is the reality. The merger may not likely possible because the necessary organs of the party must be on the same position. And just as I said in the earlier introduction, that I'm not aware of Atiku and the PDP governors holding any meeting in respect of this merger talk or alliance. But the character in question, if they are going to form alliance, is it after they have win the primaries of their various party, or they will support whoever emerge from PDP? That is another part to it, which I'm sure is politically possible. It's politically possible. Assuming what to be had and Atiku had were together politically in the last election, by my own political mathematics, we would have had someone like Tinubu today as a president. And just as I said, in 2027, saying Atiku will contest, Obi will contest, and Kwakwaso will contest against Tinubu, and thinking one of them will defeat Tinubu, it may be impossible. So forming an alliance together should be encouraged. But in doing that, the necessary organs of the party must be involved and they must be on the same position. It's very, very important. And you are talking of Daniel Bala or prostituting within the political. It's expected. The Constitution guarantee it based on, some of us remain based on personal principle. I don't know you get it now. There are some people that cannot sustain their hunger. With second without being in power, they are no longer who they are. And on the issue of Daniel Bwala, I don't even think Dan Bwala, Dan is someone that I so much, I hold him in high esteem. And when he joined, he came to speak for Atiku, we all welcomed him. But I don't even think he's a PDP member.
Even while he's been
Well, I can tell you authoritatively that I don't think Dan even have a membership card of PDP from his ward where he came from, Borno State. He has never participated in any congress.
So
he has never involved
people are accusing him of pursuing stomach infrastructure. Is that his game plan as a
who knows what he came to do with Atiku? We don't know how he come there. And they appointed him as one of the directors. He came from APC. The next day, they made him a director. So even he may even be sent by APC. Who knows? This is the one of the person who assured Nigerians that Atiku is going to contest 2027. And a week later, he was with President Tinubu in the villa. And he's praising him, and he was even begging for appointment on the live television. So many things happen in politics. And politics is deeper than you and I think. Politics is something else. So but saying that PDP is shifting, PDP this, yes, we have so many big guys from PDP who are now in APC. The like of Dave Umahi, the like of Akpabio, etc., etc. So
even the FCT minister.
FCT minister, though
is he still a member of your party?
He said he's still in PDP.
Does it make a difference?
But I don't think he's in PDP.
He has gotten
he's directly working. He's working for card. He's an APC person, and nobody can tell us that. He has ordered his loyalists in Rivers State to join APC.
So why has your party not revoked his membership?
Because of how they emerged. He was a governor of Rivers State. I was part and parcel. I was on ground for the last national convention of PDP. He brought almost all of them. Otom, him, they were so influential. They brought all of them, except few of them that were not.
Talking about Otom, he has said that they're going to, so they have no place to go than to support President Bola Ahmed.
He has no place to go actually. He lost his senatorial election, a sitting governor. Ikupensi. He lost his own Senate election. He lost woefully. He lost everything. I don't know you get it now.
Yeah.
So he fought Ayu that is in court today. He is submitted to him. So he can't go to PDP. He worked for Labour Party presidential election. So when he's politically destitute, he has no place to go. And that is correct. I think I agree with Otom. Where will he go to? His last time we saw him since he was disgraced from Benue State was his appearance in Port Harcourt. And you can see the statement from Governor Seyi Makinde, who said that it's too early for such, who distances himself from that G something. I think are they up to G5? I think they are G3 now.
G3.
Right? They are G3 now.
All right, so I wanted to ask you regarding the stance of your party that the nation is heading towards a one-party system, and it's gotten everybody concerned. And of course, that's the explanation for the recent moves we're seeing, by stakeholders to get other political parties to act together to, solve this problem.
Yeah, that was because of the body language of the president and what the Court of Appeal was doing. A Court of Appeal did so terrible. What the woman did in Plateau State is even someone who graduated from law school won't entertain such a judgment. That a member of APC will challenge the internal affair of PDP and the superior court like Court of Appeal agree with that. It was so terrible. And I was happy they retraces their step at the Supreme Court. If not, only God knows what would have been happening today. Because there was so much tension and the anger looming everywhere. So when they saw that the judiciary became cash and carry, you pay money, you get the judgment, they call you to this, they ask you what to do, they write the judgment for you, and that was what happened. I don't know you get it now. So that was what happened. And I don't think the issue of one-party system, as far as African Nigerian politicians is concerned, will ever happen. It can't. Tinubu has not done 1 year, right? Let's see how his second year to third year will be.
So, in other words, you're foreseeing a possible crisis within the APC itself.
Definitely. He betrayed some people there. The like of Verify that was disgraced from the National Assembly where he went for screening. He's moving around. As promoters are saying he's going to contest for president. And the like of so many, who among those that contested against him in the presidency, in the primary APC that is with him, except few of them who did not have so much on ground. If not, the second person, the like of Amici, is Amici with him? Are they together? The critical stakeholder who promoted the Muslim ticket, Erufai, who told us he implemented it in Ghana, is working, and he can work in Nigeria. Is he with him? What of Osibajo? Are they on the same page? I don't know you get it now.
Yeah,
so those are the issues. There are so many of their governors. The governor, I can tell you there are some, except there are some of them. So you can't say that because he's President Tinubu, he's a core politician, he will not be challenged. Nigeria presidency is too big for anybody to pocket it. And you see what happened.
Now, let's move the conversation and talk about how a mega party would work. Because politics, can be, personal interest based. Now, how will it work when you have stalwarts like Peter Obi, Kwankwaso, and then you talk about former Vice President Atiku Abubakar? Who will lead and who will follow?
You can't say that. They are well-experienced politicians. I don't know you get it now. They are well-experienced politicians. If the three major actors say they will form alliance, then they are cooking something. And it will be for the betterment of the country. It will be for the promotion of our democracy, advancing the opposition, and deepening the cause of good governance. So, who is going to lead? All we know if they are forming an alliance. Obi and Atiku cannot be there. Kwakwaso and Obi cannot be there. And Atiku and Kwakwaso cannot be there. One among these three actors may be, or they can even bring in a neutral person for the purpose of chasing away the government of All Progressive Congress. About 9 political parties or 3 political parties came together to defeat PDP. So there's nothing wrong in major political positions come together to defeat APC. It's possible.
Now, when you look at how APC came into being, one of the mantra, I won't say that was what they said was their mantra. Like, when you come into our fold, all your sins are forgiven. If you're going to have an opposition that is going to rise to what APC is right now, are you going to apply that same formula when you come to our fold, all your sins are forgiven?
There is nothing like that. It was a statement, political statement by Adams Oshimole, the then national chairman. And that is political. It is difficult for a government to prosecute those people who help them into power, except you are caught in a day robbery like Beta do. I don't know you get what I'm saying, but and then
well, investigation is still going on that, so we can't really say.
Investigation with the document flying. Those are not forged documents now. The law is very clear.
But we can't say
that
she committed the crime until.
What are you saying now?
Investigation.
Financial Guide, chapter 713. It's clearly that on no account will the government money be transferred to. On no account. Whoever does that is with the fruitless intention. So what are we talking about? The evidences are overwhelming. I
just wanted to put that out.
What are you talking? Coming back to where? Except if Tinubu is saying, President Tinubu is saying to undermine the public opinion, and which will be doomed politically for any effort he's going to make. Because that ministry, ordinarily that ministry is not even necessary. That ministry was created by late Abakari in an attempt to weaken the power of the former vice president. You can't create a ministry that will be sharing money. What are you sharing? You don't have a statistic. You have never seen the BVN of those beneficiaries.
Talking about the
all we're hearing, the same people that go out with the money will come back and inform you that they are sharing this thing to total number of these people. That is all. That ministry is the most fraudulent ministry in Nigeria history. It should be scrapped. What use is it? Sharing money? Okay, look at what they did. Very soon we'll hear the number of figures that they say they spend in the name of providing subsidy for transport. I think the president said that he provide free of 25% or 50% for those that were. So that how many Nigerians travel with the public transport? How many Nigerians? So if they connect with some motor park and come out with a figure and the money will go. We must be serious to take this country to take our nation forward. And until that is happening, the issue of better edu is just a small. So there are so many better edu.
Okay, I want us to stay put on the conversation of the feasibility of this mega party merger. You talk about political parties. When you look at outside the country, you have like the UK and you have the Americas, where they seem to have like a philosophy, an ideology of what a party should be. If this, let's say that this party is going to work, what are some of the ideology that this party should have, given what we have that is already the ruling party?
And when you talk of ideology, you are talking of the visions, the mission, what the party said. So either you get some from Labour Party, PDP, you must bring, 10 of them must come to table. And even Labour Party, they have only one governor. And NNPP, they have one governor. But considering the size of that state and the Kwakwasian movement and obedient movement and how structured PDP is, bring them together will end the reign of APC. I can assure you that.
Well, we'll see how that is going to
it's
work
possible.
out. Okay,
it's politics,
you feel
but
it is possible.
because if Tinubu do not infiltrate them, because I read APC say that the whole thing is good for mere newspaper publications or a news headline.
And conversation.
But I see like be serious. Tinubu government cannot compromise.
I mean, he's someone that has worked with Atiku before.
Yes.
So
the one that I'm not too sure is Kano.
That's the Kwankwaso
Yes,
movement.
I am not too sure because of the way he went, the way he contested, and how he wind up his presidential election. I don't know. You can't want to just for only Kano State, and so if Kwankwaso agreed, and it's not because he has admitted severally that he respects Tinubu and is his friend. Atiku also admitted severally that he respects Tinubu and his friend. Obi has never won.
I mean, we're thinking he was going to get a ministerial nomination.
Oh, definitely. So for him to be proposed, or for that rumor to went around, that means there are several colors of the water that pass under the bridge. Was there any rumor like that about Obi that he may be nominated for president? I mean, for ministerial appointment? No.
All right. Once again, Honorable Usman Okai, thank you so much for joining us on Politics Now.
Thank you for having me.
And there you have it. That's the much we can take on the show today. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Same right here on LN 24/7. Once again, my name is Morno Balagobo. Thanks for watching.